Welcome everyone to Transport Fever 2. This little mini series that we're gonna do here, I don't know how many episodes we're gonna hit for this one. Might be 3, might be 2, might be 5. It's gonna be some sort of an episode that will hopefully take us back down memory lane for all of you, those of you guys who have been playing games like Locomotion back in the days. Because Locomotion was, for me personally, the game that got me into this entire genre of games, and I remember as a kid I played it so much. With the release of Transport Fever 2 and the new map editor, I was like, it must be possible to combine all of this, like all of the old Locomotion nostalgia with this new amazing game that Transport Fever 2 is. And I'm happy to say that I feel like we are indeed getting there. Welcome to Boulder Breakers. Boulder Breakers is for me the most iconic map when it comes to Locomotion. I don't know about you guys. If you have played it, do let me know down in the comments which map you favored the most back when you played Locomotion, if you did. But for me, this was just the map that I used to go absolutely nuts on. We are located here on a tiny island. I did go ahead and just add a little oil farm out here. I wanted it to be an oil rig, but we don't really have, you know, an offshore oil rig right now, so we're gonna have to do with this tiny island. But we have the opportunity to then ship in some oil here and convert it into some fuel. It's a pretty basic layout here, and you might be thinking, well, there's not a lot to do here. But the thing that was with Boulder Breakers, and for a lot of the people who played Boulder Breakers back then, was just to see how industrialized can we make this tiny island. And I've seen some pretty insane results. I'm just gonna run some footage of a save game that I have saved still from many years ago. It's not like a lot of progress, but I have before been able to fill it all out with transportation. And I feel like that's where we're gonna go with this series now. We'll probably do it with a bit of a time-lapse sessions and a few just live play sessions, and I want to start this also with some live play sessions. The usual thing here that you would do whenever you played Boulder Breakers was always to hook up the iron ore and the coal to the steel mill, and then just start delivering the steel to the goods factory and make some money off of that. I think that is definitely the greatest way to start. We want to start off with just a station here next to the steel mill, and this will sort of be a temporary layout because it would be very cool to be able, I have a lot of plans for this, guys, so just bear with me here at the beginning. Let's take away that, and let's just run a 160-meter station. That should be just fine. There we go. Let's see, do we want to hook this up to some street? We probably do. Let's go ahead and do that. So now we have our station here, and we want to, I've added a little hill here. That's actually not something that we see in the original game. It's a pretty flat map, to say the least, but I wanted it to just be a little bit more challenging, especially if you do want to go for something else. And also over here, you know, we have a bit of hills going on at the edge here. What I used to do was simply just build an entire ring here that all of our transportation could follow, and then we'll have some city connections in between here with some roads and some buses here early probably. But I want to see if we can finish this off by just having a massive, you know, circle here that everything runs around. That would be very dope. So that will, if time allows it, and if we make it that far, it will be the end goal. Of course we'll make it that far, by the way. So I want to see if we can start out the connection here into the coal line by just going around here. That will probably be the most clever move. In order to do this in a nice way, I think we should see if we can connect this stretch here with the road. This is going to be pretty expensive. Can we do this in a more clever way? I think we can, if we try to go this way, and then we can move maybe over here and just set up a nice little city connection here between these. There we go. That works perfectly fine. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and get Beach Town connected up immediately as well, because we can create an early bus route here just for a little starter. And there we go. That should be just fine. Back to the trains here again, because we have to go around here. We have to go around, otherwise I think that it will affect our performance a bit too much. So if we, how much are we gonna cut through the terrain here? Just a tiny bit. You know what, let's bring it up from this way and bring in this, and just try to see, can we gain some altitude here early? I actually think we can. So if we put down this, are we looking at tunnels already? Is that really what we want to do? That's not really what we want to do. Oh, there we go. That might help our situation just a little bit. So if you can get a nice curve here that won't give us too much of an incline, because we will be fully loaded when we go over here, so it might actually, yeah, this, let's try something along the lines of this, like that. And I think that's actually very good. That is very good. I want to just get rid of this and then try to see if we can create a little bit more of a slope here. This should look very good. There we go. And then bring in the train here. So if we go to buildings and we grab ourselves another cargo station, just a single track this time. Maybe just a, there we go, terminal station. Wow, I'm pressing a lot of buttons here. There we go. And connect the terminal station to there. That was a bad decision. That was a bad decision. That's gonna cost us some money. Oh, not that I want to use those money for something so stupid as that mistake, but we'll keep it like this for now. This should be fine, and then we connect this to there, and then we don't have too much of an inclination here, so I think that it's actually going to be just fine. Then we want to see if we can drag this one out as well and try not to get too much curvature on so that we have to slow down. We are fighting a bit of an inclination here. Can we maybe just push it around like this? That should be just fine. And if you get another building and we get ourselves another terminal station, there we go. And all we have to do now is just to connect this to the station. Now let's see how this is looking for us. We can actually adjust these middle ones here just with the M and the N key. And if we bring down this one just a tiny bit, that actually saves us almost 100,000. So let's go ahead and do that. And we just have one more thing left to do, which is add some trains to this. So we want to get ourselves a depot here. Let's just get the vanilla one for now. You might be noticing that we are actually running a few mods here, and that is also the plan that I would actually like to do that. Let's drag this one into that, because I feel like the mods just bring a very nice vibe to this game. So we are for now just going to go ahead and connect it like this, and that should do the trick for us. So only thing we have left to do right now is simply get some in between here. Let's call this coal, and let's make another route here and call this iron. We don't want to go too heavy on the naming conventions because we only have one of each line, so it should be all right to understand. Now, what do we have here with opportunities? Because we're fighting a bit of hill, so we might want to find something here that actually has some power to go with it. I am liking the pricing on these. We're looking at 300 kilowatts here, and we are looking at 310 for around 1 million, but the speed is also a bit slow. We want something that can maybe pick up some speed as well. So 1.6 and 266 per year. Let's go ahead and grab this one. It is a tad expensive, but it's hopefully will pay itself in. Let's see what kind of cars do we have here. We could go ahead and use these nice looking British ones. 700,000 per year, 400,000 per year, 560, which carries 12. Let's go ahead and go for this gondola for now. How many wagons do we need? 100 capacity, 96 capacity. Let's start with 96 capacity and just borrow some money here so that we can buy 2 sets of those. So this is actually 6 million, so we're going to need quite a lot more money. There we go. Buy this one, assign it to the coal, buy this one, and assign it to iron. Nice. So we have those set up. We might want to start our bus route as well while we're at it, and start the timer here just to let those run. So let's see. A good little bus route here. We are going to change that later on because we do want to see if we can get a train connection going here somewhat early on, just with trains that transport people. So for now, the bus route will do. And I'm thinking that we have a decent spot available down here where we don't have to demolish houses, because we've borrowed quite a lot of money already. So it might be a good idea to see if we can get a good catchment without demolishing anything. And I think this is actually fine. And then next up, we also have to get something up here, which for now will just be a regular bus stop right there. Perfect. And then the same thing here in Beach Town. I mean, just seeing these names is just so nostalgic, to be honest. So this will be Breakers to beach. And then we will create one more from there to there, which will be Bregas to Boulder. Perfect. Then let's get a little road depot here. Road depot right there. And get that down and get a few buses running. Now, which bus do we want to select here? I feel like we want something that is decently fast, which is this one. So if we borrow 1 million more and buy 3 of those to one route and buy 3 of them to the other route, and then we can actually repay these 500k. And let's see, how are these working out? 53. Is it able to pull up this hill? Not entirely, but it does keep some of the speed. And we're actually limited at 60 right now, I think. Yeah, because of the wagons. So maybe this specific train here was a very bad choice, because it's actually way too powerful compared to the stuff that we're pulling. We'll look into that later. Matter of fact is we have a lot of stuff here coming in already. 100 iron waiting, and we have full coal waiting already. So we might want to double track this actually quite soon, just to get, you know, a little bit extra running down here. The fact that we are now feeding full into the steel mill also means that we can actually go ahead and see if we can connect this with a truck route up to the goods factory. And the reason that we want to do this is simply because we might as well just start delivering the steel up there, because it's going to help our income. So in order to do that, we are a bit in minus right now. Quite a lot, actually. We have to get through the first year here, because going for landscaping was a bit expensive, to say the least, while I created this map. So the numbers are a bit messed up right now, but that's okay. So there we go. All we have to do is simply just to get in here and go for streets. Nope. And go in here and get ourselves a proper truck stop. This truck stop we will like to place down, well, let's see, the snapping here is a bit weird, but we'll go for this position for now. And then a truck unload stop, because we want to just unload it right here for now. That should be good. So let's not select that station, because that's our train station, I believe. Select the truck stop, select this truck unloading stop, and call this steel. So steel is now ready to be delivered. All we have to do is just find a proper truck that can actually deliver it. And we want to go for some speed here again. 25. We are gonna go for this bad boy, one of these two, it doesn't really matter. But let's grab some of those, put them into steel, and that is actually all we need to do for right now. I want to just let some money flow here for now and just wait for all of this to do its thing. So let's skip ahead in time for a little bit. Let's just monitor some of the buildings that we have made so far, how the progress goes, and then I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Time has passed and money is being earned. The next thing you might notice is that we don't have a connection right now between Boulder Bay and Beach Town. I want to set this up because it would be very good if we have a full connection loop here, so that people do not have to take the bus to Bregas Bridge and then to Beach Town. And I think it will help our city growth a little bit. So I think we should go ahead and see if we can build our first train connection here between two towns. We want to start off with a basic, just a regular basic train station here, and I'm not really sure which one we should go for. There are a few mods here that we can choose. We could go with the UK generic station. That one looks quite good, so I think we should maybe try to choose that one. We just need one track right now. Building size doesn't really matter. Platform, what length do we want this to be? Do we want to secure ourselves for the future? Nah, for now let's go with 160. That should be all right. And I think we want to see if we can maybe go around this way, and that's probably a fine position. Seems to be a great position. Maybe should have moved it a little bit that way. We can always do that later. So for now, let's keep it like this. Next thing we want to do is, I want to see if we can we go around here? Actually, you know what? We should be able to. So this is very good. Let's see. Can we keep a decent amount of speed here for this curve? Let's keep it at 120 as far as we can. And then I want to see if we can shoot through that narrow gap right there. So something like this should be just fine. Now, do we want to slice our way through here, or do we want to tunnel it? I think we should try to slice our way through, and then we can always go for a bit of terraforming later on. I don't think we have the money for it right now. One thing I do know is that we are going to have to cut this just a tiny bit shorter here in order to make it past the station. And then if we just cut in like this, for now, go for buildings. Let's get a terminal station in here as a starting station, and then we can always change it later. So if you put that down right there, nice. And then once again, all we have to do is just to connect these two. There we go. That is looking very good indeed. I am guessing that we do want to get some signals up here. So when you're coming from this way, nice. And when you're coming from this way, when you are from that way, and that should do the trick, so that we don't have anything stuck there waiting, trying to pass, and nothing happens. Great stuff. This is looking good. The only thing we have to do now is just get a train on this line as well. We cannot use the train depot there, so let's just create another one over here. There we go. And maybe put this in there parallel to the tracks, just so that it looks pretty. And go ahead and connect this. I want to build a lot more with our stations later on, but for now I just want to set up the basics, and then we can always perfect it a bit later on. I feel like a stretchy road of this size will do us fine. I know that we have a bit of a gap here, and that's okay, because I don't want too much city growth right up to the station, if in case we choose to move it out just a little bit further, which I'm imagining that we might end up doing so. But we have decent amount of money right now, so let's get ourselves another train here. Let's see, we only have steam available still. We are only 1913, so that makes a fair amount of sense. But what do we have here? 75, 60. How much speed do we need in order to cross that stretch? Is 75 enough for now, or do we want to go higher? 100, that's very fast. Maybe also too fast. Let's go for this one, because the money is a bit short right now. And then let's see, what do we have of options here for the passengers? 8, 14, 15, 11. Well. 15 is a lot of people. So maybe we can do something like this, which will give us a capacity of 26, but then we'll quickly have to upgrade it as well. So maybe if we drop that one in, and then that one, and then that should do the trick. So 4.4. So let's borrow a bit of money here again. There we go. And buy this and make a new line from there to there, and call it Boulder to Beach. Great stuff. And that one has already rolled out, and that is looking very good indeed. We might want to connect this station a bit better with the city, and that's actually a very easy fix. So if you go in here, get a station, there we go, get a bus route right there, and then we have a bus stop here, which is actually already pretty crowded. It is covering most of this area, but maybe we want to see, do we have all the catchment? We actually don't. So if you make another station out here and make that the new end station, And then we create a new line which goes from there to there to there, and then that is gonna be Boulder bus. Nope, it's gonna be bus Boulder. So that will be our Boulder Breakers bus route. Boulder Bay, that is, not Boulder Breakers. Boulder Breakers is the map that we're playing. Let's see, we can save quite a lot of money here if we just place it down without connecting in, or without demolishing any houses. And the area is pretty flat in this city, so that should also be okay. Let's go ahead and get 2 of those and get those buses in. And I want to check our routes here and see if they're all full. 34 waiting for Breakers to Boulder right now. How's it looking down here? Then we have 11 waiting from Breakers to Boulder. So it seems like a lot of people actually wants to go that way. So I want to just buy a couple more buses and fill in from Breakers to Boulder in order to keep the demand, you know, keep following the demand here so that we don't lose any cargo. What about this? Our steel is actually piling up a lot, and we can do something about that for sure. So we already have some faster trucks as well, which is quite interesting. So I might want to go ahead and grab ourselves a few of those, add those to the steel. And then if we go into the line manager here, we can go into steel, we can go into manage vehicles, and we can select all of our road vehicles, which are the old type, and we can replace those with these. And it's money well spent because these travel so much faster. Now the next thing that we have right now is that our coal is also backing up a lot, and that should also be an easy fix. Where is the middle of this route? That is somewhere here. So if you make a passing track somewhere along this track, and let's just keep the speed high so that we don't lose anything. Awesome. And I don't know how long this has to be, so if we run this for a good bit of, like, just a nice stretch here before we turn it in, then that should also be alright. And the next thing we want to do is just go for a one-way signal, so make that at either ends and do the same down here. And this is actually also the same strategy that I always used back when I played this map on Locomotion. Just get a nice cargo line running here that is delivering a decent amount of cargo to the steel mill here at all times, because once you get that, you always have a nice money flow, and then everything left to do is just start transporting people. And we want to see how big we can actually grow these cities. It would be nice if we can fill this entire map with cities. I'm not 100% sure, because as you can see, I made a little mistake. We have some food here for the Boulder Bay, which we cannot really deliver. I tried to keep it so that they all just had, you know, 1 or 2 demands. It was only meant for Boulder Bay to have fuel as demand, but for now it's gonna be fuel and food, and it is what it is. One more thing though, we haven't touched on the fuel yet, and I think it's something that we want to do eventually. I'm not really sure how we want to do this, but maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. So basically, I want to deliver the fuel here, and ideally want to drop it off over here, then have a little train platform here that goes around, delivers it, and comes back around to pick it up once more. But I also know that that is going to be a bit complicated as the situation is right now, because our money is limited, and building a bridge from here to there is going to be quite expensive, to say the least. So I'm not sure if that's the way to go for right now. Maybe we just want to go ahead and plunk down a harbor and then just ship it in, basically. And the ground here is not too forgiving, and I think that is actually something I did on purpose to not make it so that you could just do it and earn fast money like that. But maybe I should have thought about that one twice before I went ahead and did that. Oh my, look at all these fancy things we have here. Definitely gonna have to play around with those later to see if we can make a nice looking port. But as a starter, is it a good way to cut through here? Guys, I am not sure about this, but I think we should do it, because it's gonna be a nice amount of money flow. Let's do that in just a minute. For now, let's get another train onto here and see what we can do. I want to actually just go ahead and get on train on this, and then see if we can complete this circle. And I think I want to do that in a time lapse so that we can actually get some progress done in this video as well. And then maybe once we have completed the basic circle around here, we want to end the video. So we have a little bit more to do before we are done with this first episode. First thing is just to copy this train right here. Manage vehicle. How much will we have to pay if we want to clone this? Not enough money, that's all it says. But I think we paid around 8 million. So if we borrow, can we borrow more than 20? We can. So if we go to this line right here and say manage vehicle, and we now clone this, we definitely had more than enough money. So let's repay this. And yeah, we have the train out, so let's see if it is a good time to go into a time lapse and get some work done here. So that is it for that bit of the time lapse. Now I'm just simply amazed at how good you can make this game look with a very, very tiny effort. I will try to add some realism to all of the areas that we're building here, and try to stay focused on the fact that we actually want to build something that looks somewhat realistic, despite the fact that we are completely trying to take over a tiny island with, you know, a transportation empire and mine it for all of its resources and everything. But we want to keep it beautiful while we do it. Whoops. And there's no street, but I guess that's fine actually. That fits in there pretty nice, so let's keep it like that. And yeah, that's I think we should slowly come to an end here while we watch our new route here pass by us. But I definitely think we should near ourselves to an end, because we've already made a lot of progress and we have a nice ring here around already. Let's quickly just go through the dream scenario here, because I'm hoping that we can maybe just keep this route and get this extended to 2 tracks once we get more going here, and then we can have another line going through here which might deliver the goods that we need to have delivered, while we have, you know, a route going all the way over here delivering crude oil, maybe picking up refined oil and bringing it back over here to Boulder Bay, so that we can, oh, actually we have to bring it down here first, but still, maybe bring it around here, go pick it up again. I know that we're sending, this is not going to be very cost efficient, but it's fine, it's all good. And then maybe we can have another line coming down here which will cross over, go this way, catch me here. I have so many ideas already, but I think it's a good time to end now. So I really hope you enjoyed this first episode of this tiny little playthrough. I'm gonna go ahead and just maybe mess a little bit with the map, maybe just refine some of the areas that we've kept hanging, and then I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow this. I'm truly gonna enjoy this, I can tell you that much already, and I hope you will too. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.